Good evening, everyone. Back live at the digital weather desk with a little weather extra for you here. Temperatures were nice and mild again today. Felt pretty good, right? Felt good for November anyway. We made it into the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow we're in the 60s again, and we do have some rain and wind to talk about. The remnants of Nicole will be moving in by about this time tomorrow night. I think tomorrow evening we'll get into some of the wet weather. Heaviest rainfall still looks to be Friday night through midday Saturday. We should be able to salvage a little bit of the afternoon on Saturday, but let's face it, the sun is setting so early these days. Even if we get sun for 2-3 hours, I think that's a pretty good setup for our Saturday here. In the extended forecast, it gets colder next week, and we'll have to keep an eye on a storm for Wednesday, I think many of you may get your first snowflakes of the season, mainly over the interior and some areas in the mountains and over inland parts of Maine. Could even get some accumulating snow. It's way down the road at this point. That would be on Wednesday. Hey, let's waste no time and talk about what is happening on the radar. That's not our radar. That's our time lapse from our Raven Skycam. The sunset this evening was at 4:20. Pretty colors right there. The sun is setting so far south, we completely missed it from our Raven transmitter tower earlier this afternoon. So again, 4:20 was tonight's sunset. Here we are, I'm recording this at 8 o'clock, and check this out. It's still in the low 60s. Normal high is about 51 degrees. We are well above that today. We're still well above that. Things are pretty quiet right now in our region. There's not a whole lot going on. We have our area of low pressure that is off to the south. Well off to the south is actually a little front to our north. We're seeing some showers kind of work their way through portions of northern Maine. Here's what's left of Nicole. Nicole is still a tropical storm making some headway up through the Florida panhandle. You see some of the heavy rain, gusty winds getting into Georgia and the Carolinas. Football game going on there tonight. It'll be interesting to watch that one in the Carolinas. Going forward, we have some rainfall arriving here tomorrow night. So this is a pretty fast mover. Time frame for heaviest rain, strongest winds tomorrow night through about midday on Saturday. And it looks like most areas get 1 to 2 inches of rain. That's how we think it's going to go down here. I think the second part of Saturday, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun will make an appearance. It stays a little windy, but at least we're back in the 60s. That's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday with some brighter skies. Let's go hour by hour, town by town on the storm tracker, starting off tomorrow. If your plans take you outdoors, tomorrow's Veterans Day, of course, and it looks like we're going to see some sun, partial sunshine, but the trend will be for thickening clouds. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Check out those temps. We're still in the low to mid 60s. This is getting a little ridiculous, right? I mean, we've had temps in the 70s earlier in the week. We have temps in the low to mid 60s out there again tomorrow. If your plans take you out tomorrow, day should be just fine. I think 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we're introducing some rain in the evening. 10 o'clock tomorrow night, when you get those yellows, reds, and oranges, yeah, that indicates some heavy downpours. I can't even rule out a quick rumble of thunder. Notice those arrows. I threw the arrows on there to show you the wind direction. I think the winds will be gusting at times, probably over 30 miles per hour tomorrow night. Our peak wind gusts, my guess, are going to be Saturday morning. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour should be expected in there. I don't think that's extreme, but enough for maybe some scattered outages, especially mid-coast Maine. We'll be watching that, of course. Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, some sun's making an appearance, and it's still warm. It's actually going to stay a little muggy late week and heading into the weekend. You may notice a touch of humidity actually trying to make an appearance here, which is very unusual for November. But it gets colder early next week. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about rain tracker. 1 to 2 inches of rain should do it. This takes us into and through the day on Saturday. So there might be a few spots in the upslope areas, the east-facing slopes of the mountains that get a little bit more. Notice there is a little bullseye there in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. So there could be some spots that get 2-3 inches of rain in that region. Winds, they're out of the south. This is 11 o'clock tomorrow night, almost 24 hours from now, a little over 24 hours from now. Peak wind gusts will be felt probably at the coast, and we're looking at 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts here. As we go throughout the morning on Saturday, I think we'll get our peak wind gusts probably just before the front moving through at some point during the morning Saturday, just ahead of the heaviest downpour. There may even be an embedded thunderstorm mixed in here as well. Notice that wind shifts over to the west-northwest. That's going to do a few things. It's going to clear us out and dry us out a little bit as well. So it looks like some sun should make an appearance for that small window we call the afternoon in the month of November. Of course, the sun is setting right around 4 o'clock. So you got a small window as far as afternoon sun goes for Saturday. Let's take a look way down the road right now. A little bit of a buzz about a storm next week. And I think we're going to get a little bit of rain, mix, and snow. And the time frame for that's going to be Wednesday. There's some forecast modeling suggesting it's more of a Thursday, Friday storm. I think it's a Wednesday storm. Well, late Wednesday, Wednesday night. We'll have to keep an eye on that, especially if it precipitates at night. We have a greater chance for getting a little bit of snowfall out of this one. And our best chance for getting accumulations are probably going to be over the interior. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you here. I want to share with you a quick little some forecast modeling, because I typically don't show this during my evening broadcast, but that's why we call it a weather extra, right? We can do this. What we're looking at is probability of 24-hour snowfall here. And notice that purple color right there, that is not 3 inches. I want to do 1 inch. Here we go. The probability of getting over, all right, looks like I didn't load in the 1 inch, but probably of getting over 3 inches of snow. There it is right there. And that would be on Wednesday. Notice the mountains have the greatest chance. That blue color right there is a 20 to 30%. Now, this far out, that's a pretty good shot of getting some snowfall. And that would be Wednesday into Thursday. Let's see if I can widen this out a little bit. So I fix this. I want to get you the 1 inch. Probability of snow exceeding 1 inch. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's better. That's what I want to show you. All right. So that purple color you see right there, notice how that does not include the coastline. So you head inland just a little bit. I mean, this far out, that's a pretty good signal that we're probably going to get at least some snow or mix. There's a 10 to 20% in the purple. The areas in that, I don't know, that weird green color going into the yellowish green color right there back through the mountains. That is about a 30, that's a 40 to 50%. So anytime you get over 50% chance of an inch or more, we're going to keep an eye on that. And that would be on Wednesday. So Wednesday into Wednesday night, there's a little bullseye. You see it right there that goes through the White Mountains and the Western Mountains of Maine. That puts us in the 60% chance of getting over an inch of snow. So the only reason I bring that up to you here, I think, is we have a decent chance of putting some snow on the ground and maybe starting a base at some of the ski resorts next week, which would be good because, it's November. Usually some of the ski resorts are open at this point. If you're wondering, Portland averages 2.3 inches of snow during the month of November. So I think we have a pretty good shot at least getting some of that. The coastline, my guess is it's mostly rain. I'm not going to rule out some snow at this point, even at the coast, but I don't think it's a blockbuster either way. But we'll be watching that Wednesday system for sure. Let's take a look back at the weather graphics right here. Getting used to this digital weather desk is kind of fun. There's that storm I was just outlining for you. That's 8 o'clock next Wednesday, way down the road. The only reason I want to bring this up here, those of you that are getting sick of the warm temperatures, and I'm getting emails and I'm getting messages. People are saying, Charlie, it's too warm for the month of November. And I sort of agree. However, I do think it was felt pretty good today to wear a short sleeve shirt while I was doing some outdoor activities before coming into work. So that felt pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the that storm moving out. We'll introduce, what do we got? The 7-day forecast coming up next. Oh, let's take a look at the coastal forecast first. I have my little clicker, and the clicker sometimes does not reach this far from the digital weather desk all the way to the studio, which is down through the glass here and around the corner. But tomorrow we have some sun, fading sunshine early in the day, thickening clouds. Rain arrives tomorrow evening. Heaviest rainfall still looks to be tomorrow night and going into midday Saturday. Let me get my mug out of there so you can see the full 7-day. Now, as we go into Saturday, the rain comes to an end probably by midday, and we're going to get some sun during the afternoon, I think. One thing I skipped completely over is there is a chance for some light rain on Sunday. I don't think it's a big storm, but don't be surprised, especially over eastern areas and particularly during the afternoon. There's the chance for a little bit of wet weather. Monday, low 40s, Tuesday, low 40s, and there's that Wednesday system. We're probably talking about mostly rain at the coastline, but some inland towns, it's probably going to be a rain mixed snow line somewhere. And on what's today? Thursday? I've been working 6 days a week, so I forget what day it is. Today's Thursday. Yeah. And tomorrow's Veterans Day. All right. So, yeah, there it is. It's right in front of me in the 7-day forecast. All right. Hope I answered all your questions here. Let me check some of the questions. I have not had those up. I appreciate everybody checking in. If you're just joining us on Facebook Live, let's take a look back real quickly at the time frame of what we can expect for some of this wet weather moving in for tomorrow and going into Saturday. Again, the time frame is going to be tomorrow night going into Saturday morning. All right, this is the graphic I want to show you real quickly here. This is about, let's stop this, 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. As we take into the nighttime hours, this takes us to 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So our heaviest rainfall is tomorrow night through midday Saturday. Folks on the Facebook here, and I think this is actually streaming on YouTube. This is a whole new world for me, this digital desk here. Keep the snow up in the mountains, Becky says. Yeah, I'm with you, Becky. Let's keep it up in the mountains. I don't want it at my house yet. But many inland towns could see some flakes next week. That'll be Wednesday. I don't even want to talk about it. It's probably going to change 100 times. But let's put it on the table at least. Travis says the same thing. Look at that. Keep the snow in the mountains. I like it. Wow, everybody's got the same common theme. Kelly says, thanks, Charlie. Take the day off. Oh, Kelly's responding to my 6-day-a-week comment. I'd love to take a day off. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. We are actually looking to hire a meteorologist. Lexi O'Connor and Matt Honig, 2 great meteorologists. We lost them to bigger markets a few months ago. Let's see. Matt went over to WMUR. He's doing great over there. Lexi went down to WBZ in Boston. And she's doing great down there as well. I'm really happy for them advancing their career. It was sad to see them leave, both of them. They were both great meteorologists. We have meteorologist Christian Bridges. He's on in the morning right now, a young and upcoming meteorologist doing a great job for us. But we are hiring, and we've been interviewing a few people, and I'm hopeful that we can get somebody hired here soon. That's the reason we're working 6 days a week. But thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. Oswald says, wouldn't mind some snow. I'm with you. Yeah, a little bit of snow is pretty good. But November, I don't know. I'd rather get in December. Actually, it doesn't matter to me. We'll see what happens. We averaged in Portland proper, 2.3 inches of snow in the month of November. So if we get even a coating of snow, that would be below normal in snow. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. I think hopefully I've answered all your questions here, folks. This is the rainfall coming in tomorrow night. We'll look through this going into Saturday morning. If you plans to take you outdoors Saturday, I think the second part of the day is better. That's 9 o'clock in the morning. And as we go through our Saturday afternoon, notice those temperatures in the low to mid 60s. All right, folks, have a nice night. We'll let you get back to whatever you're doing. You've heard me ramble on long enough at this point, and enjoy the mild temperatures as well. Any day the furnace does not kick on is probably a good day in my book here, but winter is coming. Take care. Have a nice night.